Hey everybody, welcome back once again for the final section of my first recorded live stream, Sample Quest. In the first part, we did a couple quick missions to get some science, and then went to Minmus for our first sample. In the second section, 1.2, we went to the moon and got ourselves a sample and brought that back safely, although there was a couple mistakes in there somewhere. And in the concluding section of this first live stream, I'm going to go to Gilly to get a sample. So let's get right to it. Join this recording and see what happened. We've got the science lab, although we don't have docking ports. Do we? Well, we will just deal, I guess. We do have a Stay Putnik. I don't want to do this in two different missions. I guess I could just not actually dock them back together and just get them close to each other and transfer Kerbins across. And Kerbals across. Alright, so how do I want to build this thing here? Let's go with... we got RCS now. That is nice. I am going to make this lander similar to the other one, but with RCS added in and with better parachute placement so that I don't get totally and royally effed when I'm coming back home like I did last time. And what do we want? What am I looking for here? Landing legs, there we go. This time, instead of overdoing it on the solar panels, we are going with some radial mount parachutes. Now that is a lot of parachutes. This thing should hopefully not go flying apart. But just to make sure, let's add some struts. Alright. There we go. That should hold together now. And some batteries would be nice. If we're only going to Gilly, we don't really need a ladder. We can get back in easy. Let's see, we need a decoupler. Struts. Alright, now we are going to build ourselves a rather large delivery vehicle here. Do we? Yeah, we've got the Poodle. Let's do this. No, because I don't think those parachutes are going to land me upside down because I do have this one parachute on the top. So I think that should keep me oriented pretty well. But just to make sure, let's go ahead and add a couple parachutes up here. I think that should definitely keep me oriented the right way. And while I'm thinking about it, let's make sure we get our antenna. Thermometer would be nice to have too. And don't forget the mystery goo. We probably want a lot of mystery goos, don't we? See, that's 4. So that gives us a mystery goo for deep space in the sun's influence. High over Eve, low over Eve, and on Gilly. Just bring the capsule back to Kerbin and store all the experiments in it. Yeah. I could do that. You know, I kind of already have this built though. I think I'll just leave it the way it is. But I'll go ahead and, you know, I could plan for the bottom to rip off this time. I'll just get rid of these parachutes down here, and I'll just make sure to bring all of the experiments inside before I try to land, and then we should be good to go. So let's see. I think let's get a couple more mystery goos on here. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting? Wow, that was almost huge. There we go. So if I'm going to actually bring the science module with me, then we probably want more fuel on this stage. Oh, this thing's going to be crazy. Alright, but I think we can do it. Okay. Decoupler there. So this is going to be like our interplanetary stage to get us to Eve, Eve's sphere of influence, along with the science vessel. Which, you know what? If I'm bringing the science lab with me, I don't need to load up this much on mystery goos. I really only need 2 because I can go ahead and transmit. I can process and transmit that stuff. So let's add some more solar panels here. Actually, let's add some of these down here. And we don't need that many lights. That'll work. The capsule, I don't know if the capsule can store multiple goo results, but because we're bringing the science lab with us, I'm just going to go ahead and transmit the goo results. Because you can process and transmit and still get a lot of science out of it that way. Which, if I'm going to be doing a lot of transmitting, maybe I want a second antenna on here. Yeah, let's do that. I don't need 4. 2 will do. Let's get rid of that one then. Alright. What else do we want? We got RCS along the top there. So we're going to want RCS along the bottom here. Is that going to interfere with our... Yeah, we'll put it up there so it's not clipping into those landing legs. Alright. I think our interplanetary stage has what it needs. Mass on the lab. Yeah, 3.5. So let's go ahead and build ourselves a giant asparagus under here. Now, I could go, yeah, I'm gonna go way overboard on this thing. Why not? As long as you're building asparagus, it's adding more layers of asparagus isn't really that big a deal. Although I don't... Dang it. Alright. Do it this way. I think that should be far enough out to let me fit lots of tanks around here. What am I doing? There we go. Now what do we need? We want some control because this thing's going to be a pig. And then we want some winglets and some structural support. And then we also want to put some boosters on here. Let's put some struts. You can never have too many struts. Alright, and let's set up our stages so that when we copy and paste these asparagus stalks, everything's kind of already where it needs to be. Okay, so that's for the boosters. We want this engine to fire with that separator, and this engine to fire with that separator. Alright, I think that's pretty good. So now if we copy and paste here, come on. Alright, there we go. No clipping there. This is starting to look crazy over-engineered for getting to Gilly and back. Oh well, who cares? Let's see here. So now we need fuel lines. Actually, first let's figure out our stages here. So these are our separators for our asparagus stalks. We want these in their own groupings. Okay, so these are our last ones. So that's what we want coming into the center. And we want to go bottom to top. These are our second to last ones. So we want those coming over here. Then we want this one coming over here. And this one coming over here. Let's make sure we get those stages right. So that's the first one, second, third, and last. Alright. Now we need more struts. Some space duct tape. Oh, come on, really? Alright. Did we mess up our fuel lines there? Yeah, we did. Alright, I think we're good. Always use more struts, more struts, more struts. Alright, cool. So we can store those. Alright. Is there anything I'm forgetting? You know, I'm thinking this last stage is going to be a beast to handle. So I'm going to add another reaction wheel right there. And did that mess up my... Yeah, of course that messed up my struts up here. And let's see if I can get those things. There we go. Alright, one last quick look over the staging. I mean, this thing's got crazy amounts of fuel. I mean, I don't see how this shouldn't be able to get me to Gilly and back pretty easily. Let's make sure. I mean, probably. Where's my last, or my first asparagus stage? Because I bet that's going to run out of fuel before these boosters do. So I think I'm going to replace the boosters on that stage with some small ones. Let's see. There we go. These bad boys right here. And then that means we also want these decouplers on their own. Their own stage, and then this first one for the asparagus stalks needs to go before these other boosters. Get on there. There we go. Okay, so I think we're good to go. You know, I have these struts here holding this thing together, so it might hold together when we come back home. But even if it doesn't, hopefully, if you guys help me and remind me, I'll move any remaining experiments back into the capsule there, and then it won't matter if the bottom falls out from underneath me. So. Alright, Chad, once more into the breach. Cross your fingers, death count still at 0. And we will see what happens. So, we're a little wobbly here on the launch pad. I want to take off retrograde here along the 270 line because we're going in, right? Gilly's around Eve. Yeah, so we're going in, so I want to hit to the left with my gravity turn. Alright, so good luck, Chad. Let's get to it. We're still a little wobbly. First booster's away. First asparagus stalks away. Uh-oh. Did something break? It seems... The way the angle changed there in the center of mass makes me think something broke. Oh, something did break. I have no more control. Oh crap. and I just hit the spacebar a bunch of times. So I'm gonna have to ride out these engines and because I don't want Chad to die. So we're just gonna have to wait for this fuel to run out so I can actually get separated on my last stage up here. Because I think it's still working. You know what I don't have is... I can get a little bit of science out of this. Come on, fuel, run out. I can't believe with all this weight that my speed is still increasing. I want to wait for it to stop increasing, and then I'll power up my little rocket here and fly away from it. Come on. And I don't want to use time acceleration. That might make me explode. Hopefully when these last two on the outside run out. There we go. Now we can get some separation and get away from that death trap. Goodbye, Gilly 1 ship. You're free. Fly away. Alright. I guess this will be a good test of the parachutes. We'll see if those struts hold this thing together. Or not. I hope Gilly ship doesn't come down on top of me. Let's go to the side some more. Let's go this way. Get away from Gilly ship 1. Alright, my distance from Gilly 1 is increasing. That tells me I should be safe. I think I'm safe to do some time acceleration too. I'm going to cut the engine, so I want to see if this bottom falls off with the struts in place. Did my music stop? Why did that stop? A little nice mellow jam there. Alright, so we're at full deployment and going 9 meters per second. That's a little quick for a touchdown. There's the penalty box over there. Because I wanted to keep track of all the Kerbals that died and I didn't want Kerbals resurrecting, the first thing I did is I built a little 3 capsule ship and flew it over to the side over there and landed it so that Bill, Bob, and Jeb were out of the way and not in the astronaut list. Because, like, if you kill them, they come back, which is cool and all, you know. It's amazing that they can recover from the biggest explosions, but that's not how I want to play this game. Alright, so the thing didn't fall apart from the parachutes this time, which is... you know, that's a plus, but we did fall apart on our way up, which is not great. We got 30 science there total. Yeah, I don't have enough to buy anything. Alright, so... oh, everything was going so good, and then when I staged, something in the top tier here broke. And I'm not sure exactly what it was. I really don't think it's in this middle area here because I got these 4 struts. I think maybe I'm just gonna add struts out the yin yang. I mean, why not? That's what they're there for. So we're gonna strut you up. And then strut you up. And struts there. Okay. Now hopefully, I mean, I'm still kind of mind-boggled. This is why we broke last time. But, let's give her another shot. Chad is enthusiastic. That last flight was his closest date with disaster, but he pulled it off. He survived. So I have confidence in Chad. I think he's going to be able to do it this time. We're still a little wobbly on that launch pad there, but I think we'll be okay. Come on, Chad, you can do it this time. I have faith in you. First stage away. I think that's when it broke last time. Oh, that's when it broke last time when I dropped those first 2 asparagus stalks. Looks like we're good now, though. I think we're going to hold together. Boosters away. I hope stuff doesn't break when I try the gravity turn. That would suck. But she seems pretty solid now. I think it was just a bit of bad luck on the last one. Bad luck and being too conservative with my struts, which is always a mistake. You should always go overboard on your struts. Looks, for a giant pig, because I put all those reaction wheels on there, she's pretty maneuverable. Oop, gotta get rid of that stage. Where were you on that one, Chad? Oh! Oh, okay. I took off in the wrong direction. I should have gone retrograde, but it's too late to change now, and I think my ship is over-engineered. I think we should still be able to get to Eve and back. It's just not going to be quite as clean as it could have. I should have taken off the other way. Oh well. No biggie. We will deal. In these stages, we've got this whole interplanetary stage with our Poodle engine. I think we'll be able to survive taking off in the wrong direction. And so, you know, I usually go to like Duna and Jewel and dick around on the moons and Jewel, and so I'm just so used to taking off from KSC to the east, because I don't really go to Moho or Eve too much, that sometimes I forget. I was thinking about it the first time we took off. I remember mentioning it, but that time didn't go so well, because we kind of had our rocket fall apart on us. Although Chad survived, which is good. The death count still at 0. Only a 53-second burn. I think I'll probably run out of fuel on these last 2 side stages before I get done with the circularization. Well, that's okay. So, okay, so if this stage was going to last the whole way, I would want to start somewhere around 26, 27 seconds, but it's probably not. So I'm thinking maybe 38 seconds, just guesstimate. We'll go with that. Not paying attention again. Could have lost that stage a little quicker. You see, yeah, I probably should have even started that burn earlier than 38 seconds. Much earlier, in fact. But it's alright. We'll still reach orbit. We're okay. Although we might want to angle up a little bit now. 78 and 82. It's a pretty good circular orbit. Alright, so now get to Eve. So probably want to, let's switch to our flag here so we can time accelerate. This is once again, not using mods, not using external tools, but I know as a general rule, if I want to get to Kerbin, from Kerbin to Eve, I want, if I draw an imaginary tangent through Eve on its orbit, I want Kerbin to be at the intersection right around here. So we're going to have to time accelerate a whole bunch to get there. Yeah, Chad loves his snacks. All the Kerbals love their snacks. In fact, I could have done this time acceleration before I launched Chad in orbit. So now he's got plenty of extra time floating around with nothing to do but eat snacks. There. Let's see. Imaginary tangent right through Kerbin. So let's switch back to Chad. Set Eve as our target. And because I took off the wrong direction, I think I'm just going to try to get out of Kerbin's sphere of influence first, and then try to arrange a burn that's actually going to get me to Eve. So, with the direction I'm traveling, maybe the best way to do that would be to, I guess, burn here. So that way I'll be coming out of Kerbin's sphere of influence in a direction that's retrograde to Kerbin's orbit. And then somewhere along this line, once I'm out of Kerbin, I can do another burn to get myself to Eve. Okay. So I had the right idea. I just I didn't understand your terminology too well. I guess that's my fault. I've been playing Kerbal. Let me check my Steam. I've got 472 hours playing. So and with a game like this, you know, I know a lot about certain things, but you know, there's still always more to learn about space flight and Kerbal Space Program. We are about a minute out. I'm going to get myself pointed in the right direction here. Wow, this thing is a huge pig. Total pig. Does not want to turn. And then give myself a full burn really quickly so I can get that estimate burn calculated. Estimated burn time. I think I'm just going to stick with this burn the way I have it started here. It should be fairly centered around that maneuver node. I guess I picked a good random time to try and hit my full throttle here. I think I have enough fuel. It'll be close. I think I have enough fuel left for this whole burn. And if I have enough fuel left for this whole burn, with this interplanetary stage here, even though I took off the wrong direction, I'll have plenty of Delta V to get myself to Eve and get captured on Eve. Although I think we are going to run out of fuel on this stage before we totally finish it off. now we're down to our poodle, which has significantly less thrust. But finally almost done with this burn. There we go. Time to get away from Kerbin. Did we... Okay, alright. Alright, we're out in the sun's sphere of influence. So before we set up a maneuver node, I'm going to get my EVA in. Keep that. Oh! You know what I forgot to do? I don't have anybody in my science lab. So bringing my science lab was totally pointless. Oh, man. That was a great F up there. Alright. Well, we can still get our sample from Gilly. We're just carrying 3.5 tons of dead weight. Wonderful! Alright. Let's go ahead, let's see. I'll save the goo for when we're close to even Gilly. So let's go ahead and set up our node. I think I'm just going to pull my periaps in too close to the orbit, and then I'm going to fix my inclination later. So really, I mean, I really don't even need a maneuver node. I can just burn retrograde for a little while. Yeah, so if I just pull my periaps in close to Eve's orbit, and then fix my inclination once I reach this descending node over here, I think that should work. I think I'll be alright. Of course, with 3.5 tons of dead weight and a poodle, the burns are kind of long. I got tons of fuel left though. Alright, let's cut that off. Try to set up a maneuver node here that is going to get us where we need to go. Alright, this node is still like half an orbit away from Eve, so I'm just gonna go ahead and execute the node and then do another further node again later on and kind of correct a little bit, because this is we're within 10 million meters from this burn, so I think we'll be okay. You know, we still have tons of fuel left in this stage, so we are in good shape. Yeah, I think after this session I am gonna get alarm clock and maybe precise node to kind of break my no mod rule, because those don't really affect the the gameplay too much. You don't get any cheaty parts out of that, but it would make things much more convenient for me and much less boring for you guys to watch, because I could fast forward right to this node instead of messing around with time warp like I am right now. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that my random first Kerbal after I put those the three main guys in the penalty box was named Chad instead of something much more interesting, much more typical Kerbal name. But I'm pleased with Chad's performance so far, I gotta say. I mean, look at him. He's happy. Bill is always a puss pants. He never is happy with anything. And Chad hasn't died yet, which is always a bonus. That's good on the resume. Nice long burn here. Still have tons of fuel left. It would have been nice if I had 2 more Kerbals in here in that damn science lab, though. But the name of the game is Sample Quest, and we will still get our sample from Gilly regardless. Oh, really? I never knew that. Huh. Look at that. Thank you. It's a great tip. Oh, you know what? I think I had the wrong numbers sitting up there. Yeah. Clicked on the wrong one. Alright. That helps out tremendously. I can't believe I've played almost 500 hours in this game and I didn't know that. Eve periapsis, 80,000 meters. Alright, so that is definitely something we can work with. And that's only a 3-second burn. 3 seconds to take me from like 8 million miles away to just 80,000 meters. Or 8 million kilometers. 8 million meters? I don't know, whatever. Turning a little tired. Alright, let's time accelerate, get up to this node. Oh, and I screwed that up. Well, I bet if I'm still aimed in this direction, if I burn here, I think I'm going to be okay. Alright, I think we started going back up, but we're pretty close there. Any recommendations on aerobraking altitude for Eve? I think, what, like 68,000 meters? Is that about right? 68 high? I know Eve has a thick atmosphere. Okay. I am coming in at a bad angle. So I want to come in on the other side of Eve. And before I do that, let's get my crew report transmitted. And then get my EVA. So if I, let's see, I want to burn north, I think. That'll help fix my inclination some coming in here. Nope, that was wrong. Totally wrong. South. I want to go south. South is what I said. It's what I originally said was south, right? Which actually, I should probably get myself pointed on the other side of the planet first. So I want to burn east first. Man, this thing sure is sluggish. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm burning east to get my my periaps on the other side of Eve. Yeah, so then there, my apoaps will end up being out over here somewhere, and then when I come back out to it, I can kind of fix my inclination a bunch. Let's see, we're at 80 on the periaps, so we want to bring that down a little. Oh wait, no, the new periaps is 110. Bring that down to 68, and I think we're good. 68. That's what I was going for. That's kind of a number I just pulled out of my butt, honestly. I seem to remember that as a decent all-purpose periaps for Eve. So we'll see what happens. Aerobraking burn going on. Oh, that was about perfect. Wow. Apoaps is right about exactly. Now, of course, our inclination is crazy messed up. But 15-second burn there. It's not much considering we've got tons of fuel left. Gilly, I am coming for you. Yes, I am. You will be mine, your sweet, sweet samples. Alright, that looks just about perfect right there. 1 minute 27-second burn though. It's going to take up a whole lot of what's left of our fuel. But Gets us pretty damn close to Gilly's orbit. Alright, it can't decide what is actually going to happen here. But we got a good Gilly periaps there. Alright, finally, Gilly. You did not want to be landed on, but you will be. You will be conquered. You were playing hard to get, but with persistence, we shall land on you anyway. Alright, so we want to get... I guess we still don't want to use our goo, but we do want to send a crew report. And we do want our EVA. Ooh, whoops. Alright, that should work. Yeah, I guess as long as if I go ahead and land right around there on Gilly, then when I take off, I can take off more along the orbit, so I don't really need to fix my inclination right now. You know, this thing is totally unwieldy. It's a pig to drive around, but I got a lot of fuel left. I might just try to land this whole thing on Gilly. Might as well. I mean, heck, why not? You don't land on Gilly, you dock with Gilly. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's a semi-accidental Gilly base, that's true. The only problem is, I mean, it doesn't really have much to it. It's just the lab. So, without a probe attached to it, I'm pretty sure it becomes useless once I detach it from my ship. Plus, I still have a bunch of fuel left in it. I want to go ahead and use that up. Make sure we get back to Kerbin safe and sound. So, with no warping whatsoever, I think I might do something really stupid here. And turn on my RCS that I'm not really going to need for anything. And give myself a little boost down to the surface. Why not? Because Gilly has, like, no gravity. I think the surface underneath me is pretty flat. And with the dual reaction wheels I got on this thing, I think I'll be able to stand up on end. Because I don't think Gilly's gravity is going to be able to tip me over. Yeah, docking mode engaged. RCS to land on Gilly. Oh, those textures are... Even though I don't see any shadow, the texture on the surface is worrying me, making me think I'm closer than... Oh, there we go. There's my damn shadow. Okay. Being extra careful. Going slow. Nice and easy. Because, I don't think this poodle engine was designed to be landed on. But... I think... Nice and gently. And there we go. We have touchdown on Gilly. She did not want to give it up. I had to buy her quite a few drinks, liquor her up. And let's see. Let's make sure we get our science here. Observe material bay. Wait. It wants me to process in the lab, but I got nobody in the lab. I thought you had to have two Kerbals in there. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, okay, not operational. Alright, so we got our goo there. I guess we'll get another goo on our way off of Gilly. We want our crew report from the surface. And then it is time for Chad to take the spotlight. So he gently floats down. Yeah, I did get an error message when I tried to do it with the goo. And Chad is almost down on the ground. There we go. Get our EVA report. Take the sample, very important. And plant a flag. Gilly landing 1. Gilly is a prude, but we finally wooed her. Alright, let's get back up in this biatch. And taking a step, apparently on Gilly, can send us right off. Alright, so once I'm off of Gilly, I gotta remember to bring the my experiments inside once I get that mystery goo from high Gilly orbit. Let's see. We want to take off because we're going from Eve back out to Kerbin, so we do want to take off in an easterly orbit on the 90-degree line. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so power up. Let's go back to this view. Where's our 90-degree line? There it is. Alright, that looks good. Oh, and no time warp below 8,000 meters. So we get to sit here and wait. Alright. Back inside, safe and sound. Forgot to take a temperature reading while I was sitting on Gilly. Oh well. It's not like this mission hasn't been full of screw-ups like a totally empty mobile processing lab. Yeah. When you build stuff from scratch, it's, especially, I was trying to build it quick, too. Because I didn't want to bore you guys with me getting bogged down in minutia on the build phase. Yeah, sometimes you overlook stuff. And since I'm putting the restriction on myself that I'm not really allowing myself test flights and reverts to the VAB and quicksaves and all that, I'm surprised I haven't just plain exploded yet and killed a Kerbal. I'm quite happy that so far today Chad has survived all of his adventures. Alright, so what we want to do now is get back home. So let's switch to that flag there. And then zoom out. And time warp until, this shouldn't take all that long, to get to a good alignment before getting back home to Kerbin. we want is Gilly right here. Oh, this is going to be perfect because Gilly's periaps is in like the exact right position here to save lots of fuel. Not like it's not like we need it, but I mean we've got plenty of Delta V left to get home. But you know, it's always great to do things as efficiently as possible. That should be good. When we fix our inclination, that should end up pushing out our apoapsis a little bit more. Alright. That takes us almost right into an encounter. Alright, man. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. There we go. Finally, an encounter. We are going home. Finally. Gilly was a pain. Gilly did not want to give it up. But we did not give up either. We persevered. And we are going to make it home. Hopefully in one piece. Cross your fingers, Chad. Alright. Look at that. We're going to come slingshotting right in. After all that fuss and all that trouble to get to Gilly and back, we're going to just come squeeze right in there. Won't even have to make any adjustments once we get into Kerbin's sphere of influence. We are going to make it. Almost there, almost home. Okay, periaps 34,000, we can deal with that. Faux show. Don't even need to make any adjustments. We're just gonna go for it. You were going home, Chad. It was a good trip. It was a long trip. But good trip. And might as well extend our landing gear that we didn't need for anything because we landed on our main rocket on Gilly. So might as well get some use out of it. You know, coming down in the ocean. Alright, and our ship didn't even fall apart this time. Didn't really even need to bring in those experiment data. We're going to be safe and sound. Fantastic. Fantabulous. Mission successful. Alright, so sample quest. Whole point, bring back a sample from every moon or planet in the game that is possible to do. Started a new career mode today to do this. No mods, although I'm probably going to install a couple, you know, to help with some of the annoying time warp stuff. But we got a sample back from Minmus first, then one back from the moon. And now we're bringing one back from Gilly. So that's 3 down in the first night. And all 3 successful. No deaths yet. Chad is the man. And here we are about to touch down. And our ship kind of came apart there. But pretty much I think I had everything in the capsule. Look at that. 1,331 science. Nice. Nicely done, Chad. Alright. What do we want? What do we want to buy with our precious science? Well, you know, some ladders and stuff would be nice. Nuclear rocket, yes, that thing is dope. Alright, what else do we want here? Docking ports, very useful. Let's get some more sciencey type things here. Let's see, the seismic. There we go. Alright, can we get any of these? Yeah, we can get one of these. What do we want? We can get some aerodynamic pieces. Not yet, though. I mean, I don't... plane's not going to help me out much right now. Get some landing gear. What's that? Micro landing strut. Let's go with advanced flight control. I mean, that doesn't really help me out much either. Let's go with that then. Yeah, because that'll get me to the big landing gear later on. Alright, all scienced out. Chad, safe and sound, got to 3 different planets tonight, the Minmus Moon and Gilly. And that is it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. I am out. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. This is the end of the first live stream of Sample Quest. But it is not the end of the quest, so if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button, or if you want to watch it live as it happens, go ahead and follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/BuckeyeMonkey.